Alright, good morning. I'm gonna be doing this what seems in a very rushed manner because I just got the time frame key to be able to do this at 8:30 a.m. in the morning while I wait for my kids to exit for school, okay? So that I'm not waiting until the end of the day, especially because it is the summertime to be able to do this. All right. And as I said, it's about 8:15 a.m. in the morning today. And once again, I'm also doing this because I got sick and because it was impeded by the weather in the month of May with a lot of rain and a lot of bouts of winter like weather that I could not teach outside after the second attempt in May before I got sick. So we're gonna try and make up for the month of May, and my plan is to try and do this at least 3 times per day. But because of the fact that I still have about 13% of COVID factor, it might make me physically exhausted and drainingly tired to do this that often. So I'm going to be attempting to do this at least twice per day throughout the day in order to make up for what I missed in the form of recording all of my almanac plans for the month of May 2026 so that I can catch up with what I missed to record in 2026 outside as I planned to do. And I planned this with Hank Jr., and he's here on the property. In the month of January, I plan to record a lot of albums, and I wanted to do this outside to prove that my singing is not always the end all be all, but it's the guaranteed proof that I have recorded the album in the form of teaching aspects first. Then the album is laid out to me on YouTube, and then I learn the songs, I study the songs, I get to know the songs in the form of what has been taught, and then I prove when the question is asked, can you actually sing that after teaching the lesson? That's pretty much what happens in the form of where they tell me to be quiet in your house with the singing, is when I'm asked, can you actually sing that after you've recorded the album in the form of teaching the lesson? Today's original date of this pre-recording is June 9th, 2026, and let's get into the recording factor there, okay? So we're going to once again continue in this book. The song connected to this chapter is Leona Lewis, Better in Time. The song has been airplayed a lot since yesterday when I made the announcement at around 2:30 in the afternoon, and it has received a lot of positive annotations in regards to the connection of the scripture, what has been said to me, what I registered down personally, and the connection as to what I taught in between with that of physical health in demand. So because I've done all 5 posts in one video due to time length, I'm only going to be doing today until it is complete what has been said to me in the form of physical health and demands for physical health education in order to help those struggling with weight or proper eating in the form of receiving a meal to eat at school, which we have done, but it will be returning, yes, in September 2026. And right now we're waiting for the go ahead from the school board in order to continue that during the summer school program. Okay? So, let's begin with reading once again chapter 5, The Lotus Shoes, and we are now on page 46. Okay? Chapter 5, Lotus Shoes, page 46. Get back in line, Mama ordered, or I will beat your worthless girl until the skin on her bottom is raw. Fourth Aneung fell back as her eyes remained fixed on her sobbing daughter, who tried to run to her again, but my grandmother's slave seized her shoulders. Mama barked at the nursery Amma, "Take this rubbish out of here." The Amma scooped up my screeching half-sister and hurried out of the room. Mama addressed me and my remaining half-sisters. A daughter's sin is a mother's liability, just as a mother's sin is her daughter's burden, she told us. Your mothers have failed in a wife's fundamental duty, and you must share their shame. So daughters are being abused for mothers? In what form? Anyways, she waved her cane over our heads. "I would sacrifice every one of you," she declared, "if it meant I could secure a son to carry on the Fong name." Mama turned back to our mothers and stopped in front of second Aneong, whose hands flew to her swollen belly, meaning she was probably pregnant. Mama slapped them away and began probing the taut bump, pressing her gnarled fingers into her rib cage. "Your belly is sitting very low," Mama grumbled. "This is not a good sign. Do you still crave spicy food? Because apparently when you eat spicy food, it means it's a girl when you're pregnant. Unless you just go to the doctor and find out through DNA probing, which is not the poking of the fingers in the person's belly. That hurts. "I am afraid so, revered mother. Let's hope you will prepare sour and salty food soon, because that also means it's a boy. Regardless, you must take extra care to avoid another stillbirth. I will not pardon you if there is a repeat of last year's disgrace." Second Aneong staggered. A bitter taste filled my mouth as I stared at my grandmother's ruthless face. She looked on with indifference as Peony began to cry. You can now get the Revolution eyeshadow palette, the Peony Factor, at Shoppers Drug Mart. The depth of Mama's cruelty shocked me, for I did not think even she would be capable of such heartless words. You can think of the song by Akon, otherwise known as Heartless. Second, Aneung deserved sympathy, not threats. I pitied her hard fate. She had suffered 4 small, half-formed births. Worst of all, in her last pregnancy, a healthy boy had died on his way out. During that dark time, she had not left her bedchamber for 6 months. I thought she would never conceive again, but now she was halfway along her 11th pregnancy. Despite her stoic effort, Mama still blamed her for my brother's stillbirth.